tea. Beyond the tea. Sip with me.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. And I think we should say, I mean, that's what I was saying. It's one of my most iconic experience that I ever had in my career. And I want to thank
Mine
you.
too. Oh,
I want to
I want
thank
to
you.
thank you. Please.
No, I want to, because people don't know, but I want to explain before starting the question that without you, I would never had the opportunity to create what we create. You believed in me, you believe in the brand, you believe in Balmain. It was a tough challenge. Let's be honest. And she's smiling. But I think, I mean, just to tell you guys, I think Marni was my girlfriend for at least like 6 months, because she was going to sleep talking to me, she was waking up talking to me. And let's say that the struggle of this challenge was, she was in LA, I was in Paris, 9 hours difference. So when it was the middle of the day, I was going to sleep. When she was going to sleep, I was waking up. But we made sure that we made it happen. So I want to thank you to trust us, really.
I want to thank you, because honestly, there's nobody else who could have done this. I mean, there's absolutely no one else creatively, no other house that could have really done what we needed for this. And it was perfect. It was just the perfect match, I think, that like,
yes.
And it was another force that came in. You know, it wasn't just us. It wasn't just Beyonce. I feel like there was like a force over this project that really, like, with all obstacles and with the amount of time we had and everything, like we were like kind of guided through this. There's no other way to say this, but it was definitely bigger than us. It was
bigger than us. I think what Marni is saying, and I feel the same, is that in a way, I think we were not expecting we could launch, we could have an idea, but we would never expect that it will become so big. And every week we were adding things, we were just like changing things to make it better. So it's been like it's been a thing, but let's be honest, it has been pretty incredible.
Really has.
Yeah.
It's
so
definitely
the first question, Marni, why? A lot of people is asking why pink and yellow.
Well, okay, so we went through a whole bunch of color combinations, and I think, I mean, there are symbolisms and whatnot to the colors. It was we called it monk yellow, remember, I think, and I forget what we called it for the pink, but those were obviously, I mean, Beyonce. It was all like her. She was, I felt like she was like really set on pink, or no, I think she was like really set on the monk yellow at first. Like we were really trying to get that color to work. Remember, like we kept going through like how many different kind of colors,
like, 10 different yellow.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy, but just to get, and we would try like the colors on the stage while we were practicing. So not just like on the dancers, but we would like just put fabric across the dancers. And we were trying to figure out like cool color combinations. At one point we were, you know, in the early stages, it was, we went through a multitude of colors. And I think all of the reasons for the colors were obviously, you know, in Beyonce's brain. But when we finally settled on the, you know, we were going to mix the colors, but then when you saw this group of people, like so many people on the stage, it really couldn't be anything but like the one color, and it just made this massive presence of so
I think I remember that when she mentioned pink and yellow, I started to try some yellow that was a bit darker, and I remember that it was too dark, and that was where, I mean, it was almost like we were living in a digital world, because I remember I was sending you pictures and it was not easy for you to see what kind of yellow could be. And so at one point when we flew to LA, there we understood what's the right yellow. We tried on the guys. And the second thing I remember is that there was a yellow that we had in our hands, and after how we come up with the lights, as you say, because on stage was a different things with the light. So, I mean, it has been a really, really tough process. I have to say, like the color card at the beginning was just like really challenging. And but we made it. We made it. I think the toughest, because everybody's asking the toughest of this collection, I would say the embroidery is, I don't know if you...
Oh my gosh. The embroidery is I have like a whole, like, almost like I mean, look at this. This is just
Oh my
like,
God. Wow. Wow.
I mean,
Insane.
you killed these embroideries. You guys killed. Like, look, that's Beyonce's face.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Look, I'm kissing.
Okay, we all
Would you
give a
like to
kiss.
kiss?
Yeah,
I mean, these
the embroidery
embroideries.
were so tough.
I have a scrapbook
Because
of like
I think,
all of the embroideries. Ow! Shit. This one. I know. I just dropped. Oh my. Look at this. First day with earbuds or whatever the fuck they're called. Okay, look. This one.
oh my God, yes, I remember. I remember.
How did
And
you
there,
like? How did you do these? People don't understand how quickly you made these.
yeah,
I mean,
I mean, this was like a tough one because it was like, it's beaded with cut tubes, and after we have thread embroideries. Yeah, yeah. And it has to be light because the thing is that I remember like when she was saying like people needs to dance, people needs to feel like super, super like comfy in the clothes. So that was the challenge actually, to make embroidery that could be really sparkle, really strong, but at the same time make sure that all the team could feel really good, all the musicians.
right. But I mean, it's just kind of insane, like the detail that is on like each one of these. And we did, I mean, I think you sent, I mean, at least 200 of these, right?
Yes, because yeah, because at the beginning we were adding more and more musicians, remember? So at one point we were like, how many there are? And that's what I think was the most incredible part of that experience, is that we started with maybe like 100, and it became even more, no?
Yeah, I don't remember how many people were actually on the stage. Probably, I think like 120 or something.
120, yeah.
Yeah, I think at least, because then at the end when everybody came on the stage and the dancers went up the one ramp and like everyone was on the stage, I think it was like 100, like about 120 people.
My God,
It was
yeah.
crazy.
I think, you know what? I think what was the crazy as well was like the latex pants.
Oh my
You
God.
remember those latex pants?
The black ones for the
Because
dancers, right?
the black pants. Because everybody was asking as well, like, what was tough as well. I think those pants, when I knew the movements, because you didn't tell me exactly. You're like, you know, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do that. And honestly, when I arrived in the concert and I see, because we had rehearsal, let's say we had rehearsal.
Right.
When I saw the clothes and how the movement, we were like, okay, how can we move in those pants?
Yeah, that was so tricky. We went through at like many pairs of those pants. I don't know how many pair you sent, but I know that we went through so many of them. And thank God for Arturo, my tailor in New York, Arturo. Oh, and Timothy, of course. They figured out the way to put the gusset like in the crotch so that they would be able to move a little bit, like even more, like, because the way that the bone breakers were like the way that they were dancing, it was so insane that it's like nothing could withstand the force that they were.
I have to say, if that was one question, I mean, you would answer as well, I answer as well, which is what you were most scared about. I was scared about. Scared. What you were most scared about.
Let me say, what were your, the entire process was terrifying for me. Literally. I mean, it was so terrifying because, well, the first night, it was like we only had, well, I mean, the second night too, but the first night they were shooting, weren't they like, didn't everybody see it that first night? Like it was over YouTube or something?
Yes.
It was like a live performance over YouTube, because I remember you were supposed to come,
yes,
but you had to stay and you watched it and you were like losing your mind. And but just because it's that live performance and it's like you're out in a field and you don't know, and there were like, it was so scary because there were like wind gusts. Like I don't even think we were able to rehearse like a full rehearsal or something like that because of the wind gusts. So it was so scary. Like every part of it was scary. because she was also wearing those the gowns, the capes, like in the opening act, and it's like she had to walk on that, and like I was so afraid she was gonna like, you know, the thing is this, like, it doesn't matter how much you do, Beyonce will always figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, she always is just like, she no matter what, like, you should relax knowing that she will always figure it out and make it work. But I was afraid that like the robe was going to be too long. But then we had like a quick change. Like, she did that entrance, and like 3 seconds later, she had to come up like in the sweatshirt and the shorts and the boots and the quick changes. Like, honestly, the whole thing was terrifying. There wasn't just like one thing that I was like, oh, I hope this works, or I hope this doesn't go wrong.
The quick changes was the most impressive thing, because people, maybe they don't realize, they see many looks and stuff, which was really challenging, but how they changed so fast, and they couldn't be late. They just have to be there with the music and being so strong. And I mean, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I launched, I think there was like 5. How many outfits were different for Beyonce? I don't remember. 4 or 5? 6?
She had 5 or 6. 5 or 6. I mean, just each show were 5 or 6, and those were different, both, like almost different, both shows. Like, one.
And
two.
I remember that was, I'm so scared, because I mean, I was just like, how are they gonna change so fast? And that was the magic of. It's the magic of Beyonce. Like,
no, it really is. It really is. But I will say this too. There's just such a well-oiled machine in that quick change room. Like, they're so good, and that like you try to do your job so well that she doesn't have to worry about what's going on, because she's trying to concentrate on everything. But of course, obviously, she's managing everything at the same time. But I was actually even staying out of the quick change.
You were there?
Because, yeah, I was. I mean, I would like poke my head in just to make sure, because there are people that we tour with that like, and you know, Melissa's always in the Tristan room, and Tim's always there in case something. So there are people that were like set for that quick change, that are built for that. And I just, you know, I also look at every little thing. I would have made her late, like going out on something, but like, so I tried to stay out of the quick change room, but somehow it was like Superman. She would go in and then she'd come out literally in seconds. Like, it's really, it's pretty amazing. She's pretty amazing.
I think I remember.
What was your scariest? What did you say was your scariest?
That something breaks.
Yeah. Like that the Nefertiti crown will fall off. I mean,
I was scared of the cape. I was scared of this. I was scared of the cape, and I remember it was the opening, and I was just like, imagine if the cape falls, or if the embroidery becomes too heavy. Because the thing is that when we were embroidering, I remember like we wanted to bring the most incredible techniques in the capes, but more you put and heavier it's gonna be. And I was like, I hope it's not gonna fall. And again, it looked like super light. And guys, it was not as light as you think it was.
No, it was definitely heavy. And even that neck piece that you made, that was so incredible. The way that you kind of made it so that it was 2 pieces, so that it wasn't really, it was originally, I think we had it, didn't we have it attached? I think we had it attached.
You attached on the bodysuit.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, those are those little things that like, that really do make all the difference, because it just looked like such a huge, you know, piece of jewelry, and that was her vision, you know, and she wanted the big earrings and everything. But it was like, no one could believe how light you guys made that. I mean, the embroidery on it, and that it was just like a piece, like that we were just able to like kind of like take off, and it didn't, and even the earrings and stuff, they were like so big, but still they were so light. Yeah, that was crazy. I was afraid that something was gonna go, but Kim Kimble had that crown on Bee's head, like that was not coming up. But I was afraid of the girls, like with the sunglasses, like, and then we were like trying to sew the girls' berets into their hair, and it was like,
how did you do it with the beret, with the hair?
No, they did it with, they were literally sewing. I think like my assistants were even helping sew some of the braids, like actually like some of the braids like into her hair, into the girl's hair, like from the hat into your hair. Okay. It was crazy.
Wow.
It was a nutty time.
You didn't tell me. I mean, I did ask you, but I mean.
Yeah, no, there were so many of those little things that like that
I mean,
were happening.
the process of because I think a lot of people is asking, what is the process of the stylist? How you come up with the idea? When did you start to think like that with B? Like, how did you share? When did you start to contact me?
Yeah, well, when she originally thought of the idea and like her creative team, and I think her creative team, we all kind of worked kind of together, but originally it was all, obviously her vision, and God only knows. I think she probably had this, she had this vision for years though, because it was, she was supposed to do Coachella, remember, and then she had the baby. She couldn't do it that one year because the baby. So this has been in her mind for like years. So she kind of had like a direct vision of, you know, what she wanted, this like the ode to the HBCU and like the whole bands.
And this, we need to talk about it as well. Huh? The old bands, what it means, because that was something. But
yeah,
first,
I mean, obviously that was, so that the process was like her kind of telling us what this is and, you know, what the vision is. And this was even before we had the music and everything together. And then all the different creative parts, like they go out and they, you know, come up with like, she's so involved in every part of it. It's just like you bring your creative to the table and then she, you know, responds to it. And we either like go, you know, we vibe, everybody vibes off of each other. And I feel like that's how it kind of all comes together. I feel like it was, you know, the vision was in her head. I don't know if that was like the specific vision, but we were going back and forth of like, should it be sweatshirts? Should it be band jackets? Should it be, you know, so we were trying everything. And I think I was really pushing for the sweatshirt vibe of it, just to make like a new, fresh version of what, you know, what the new like band uniform could be, you know? So that was always in my head. Like, I really hope, like I wanted that to be, because I just thought it was like a young, fresh, new version of what it could be. And it was, I knew it was going to be like something comfortable. And, you know, the band, the members, there's like, they're carrying such heavy, you know what I mean? They need to have movement and they need to have that. So I just thought it was going to be the best part of it. But I think that, so that's what it is. We just like keep sharing ideas and whatnot. And I mean, we've obviously worked together. I mean, that's another anniversary that's this week, by the way. Lemonade and the Formation World Tour and everything is another anniversary this week. It was 4 years since Lemonade.
It's true.
This week, like on Wednesday, I think, Wednesday or Thursday.
4 years?
Crazy. Yeah.
4 years.
4 years on 2004. Or is it, wait, 4 years? 2016? Yes. I don't know. It's something. Yes, it's some anniversary. I think it was 2016. Yeah. So, and when we did all that together too, I mean, that was, I just found pictures of us like in your studio. It's so crazy. Tim and I in your studio. Yeah, I have to send it to you. So I was thinking of you. I mean, usually in the process, like for a tour or something like that, we just reach out, we come up with the concept and the idea, and I do boards, and I have like boards of like what the concept is, and we have a story to tell. And I usually just talk to the designers and do it. But on this one, I just wanted to work with one person, and I just knew it was so important for you because, first of all, you're, you know, a Black man, a young designer. You're like kind of, you're just in it, and I think it was just important for you that we wanted you to be a part of this, and just for what it was symbolizing, you know, as a project. So, you know, and I didn't really even share all that stuff with you, I think, and a lot of designers, like, they knew that she was doing this, so they were all hitting me and stuff like that. And it's like, I couldn't say anything, but I just didn't want to accept any sketches or anything from anybody, because I knew that if we just stayed focused and we just like back and forth and back and forth and back, like, I knew that you would be able to create her vision and our vision and put this creative together that better than anyone else for this project. So I was so happy that, I mean, in the beginning, it was a little scary though, remember? Like, because I don't think that you kind of understood it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was new to me too. This whole HBCU, like, obviously.
I think I understood at the time when you called me and B was on the phone as well, and you told me, I think you should fly to LA because you will understand better what we are doing. And I think this is important in the process that we were working together. I couldn't, I mean, I'm a fashion designer. I mean, I can create clothes, but I don't really see the big picture of it if I'm not there to understand.
Right.
When I arrive in LA and I understand the stage and I saw all the people together, I think there I got it. But there I start to get as well really scared. I was like, are we gonna make it on time? How are we gonna make it to make sure that everybody has the right fit? Like, it was just like so, like, I remember. And I think after, when I saw the choreography of Beyonce as well, because of course we dress her together in for formation, but this one was like all the movement, and I was like, how I can make the dress so couture with those movements that are incredible. And I was just like, oh my God. And there I told you, like, I was scared that, you know, something happened, but it didn't.
Thank God.
But because as well, you have a great team. We have to mention Tim and Timothy and so many people that are there in the backstage, in the behind the scene that people don't see. Like, it's insane. Like, the team is incredible, and so they're going so fast. They can mount the clothes so fast. I mean, it's pretty crazy, yeah.
It really was. I mean, I will say, like, Tim and like Miss Sue. Miss Sue is someone who's on the road with Beyonce all the time. And even my guys, Arturo and his family, the Padillas, Rancho Taylor, like, they really stepped in. And, like, I mean, you could only do so much from so far away. It's like, if you think about it, every 120 people had to be fit. Like, they all had to fit they had to be fit in clothing. And it's like, it was so overwhelming. We did bring in so many tailors and whatnot. But honestly, Tim knows. He's pretty, I say that he's like an engineer. He's more of an engineer than anything. Like, he just knows how to,
it's true.
He knows how to let her move. Like, it's kind of crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that was like, because the speed to make everything happen, because we had we had 2 concerts. There was the first one for the first week, and after there was second.
Yeah, but remember, we didn't really, I mean, we had the second week, but we weren't planning on switching. We weren't definite on switching colors.
Yeah, this I think we should mention, because a lot of people is asking about, like, the switch, how it came from, like, the yellow to the pink, how, like, from the black cape to the silver hologram.
That was so unbelievable. So I think it was like Monday or Sunday. It was like the day after. She was just like, I think we should change colors. We should do the pink.
I think the pink, because I remember, I think we were not deciding at the time. We were like, okay, yellow, pink, hologram, and I remember I was launching so many clothes that at one point we got so many, and even you were like, she cannot change 100 times. And I was like, okay, but I mean, I would rather that we are good with that. So I remember that at the time we were like, okay, there will be a second tour. There will be a second round. So let's organize all around what we have the second round. And that was pretty epic, because the hologram cape.
Oh, that was insane. That was so crazy. But that didn't come until like a day or a couple of days before the show.
Yeah, exactly. It was like.
But she really didn't confirm. Like, we really didn't. But we didn't confirm that we were going to do pink literally until like the 2 days after the first show. Like, it really was like on Monday, and she was like, yeah, let's change it to pink. And I was just like, 120, like, it was crazy. So that's when, like, you started doing that cape. Like, we didn't get that cape. That cape was done in a couple of days, and got it to me.
No, but the cape I remember, because when we were doing a fitting, at one point we had a dress that was hologram. But
that was on Easter. I remember, because I was looking through my pictures. We were at her house on Easter, and we did that fitting on Easter Sunday, and that was like you were doing, yeah, we were doing the fitting, but you hadn't had that cape wasn't there yet. Just that
No,
hologram.
the cape was not. But that's at that. It was at that moment that we were thinking maybe we should do something hologram with like silver. Because I remember we tried a dress that had that kind of color, really beautiful, and it was hologram. And at that time we were like, okay, we should do something hologram.
Right. Right, and that's where the Solange look came from, really.
Yes, it was exactly the Solange dress. Exactly,
right.
It was the Solange dress that made us think we should maybe think of something hologram.
Right.
And that was this latex in hologram as well. What are you looking for? You have
I was trying to go. I was going through some of the sketches. I was like thinking, I'm like, where are these? Like, I have them all here. I was like, gosh, there's so much that we didn't even use. I do. I have all of them. I have everything. Yeah.
But that's the thing I have to say. Like, all my team, when we were all sketching together and making sure that we can have the right clothes. I mean, it was a challenge, but we knew it would be that iconic at the moment that we were launching everything. Ah, exactly. That is the cape.
Oh, so amazing.
It was
the back
so
of that.
It was so good.
Yeah. I don't know how your team did it. I think, remember when I came to Paris, well, we came to Paris like immediately after the second show. We came to Paris because we were doing On the Run. And I remember when your team, when I came over to see you guys, and I was so embarrassed because I was like, I felt so bad that we like, you know, and you guys weren't even, it was your break. You guys were like on holiday or something. Like you guys were doing all this. Like if I remember correctly, no, you were in the middle of doing your show.
Yeah, it was
like,
we had the fashion show at the same time. That was it. But I mean, honestly, if we have to do it again, we will redo the same. I mean, that's what the point of I think fashion is existing and is great, but I think without music, we cannot get inspired. And that's always what I feel. And I remember like when I was a kid, I was opening books from different singers, from Prince, David Bowie, Michael Jackson. And I was like, oh my God, those looks are so iconic. And when you ask us to do it, I knew that in 20 years, 2 years, 50 years, we will remember Coachella. We remember Beyonce as like that kind of performance. That stage will be iconic forever. It will be part of the history. And you know that pride of like opening a book and say, I was part of it. I was part of it.
Yeah.
And this was something. And I remember when you told me, like, when you and Beyonce told me, like, are you coming? And, you know, I mean, that was my biggest dream to see that experience. But I mean, I couldn't.
You couldn't. You were in. It was literally the day before your show. It was like there really wasn't even enough time for you to get there and get back, even if you just dropped in for the show. Oh my God! What about the shoes? We should remember those like little black booties, those little clear booties that you made for the second show. Those showed up. You had those delivered the day of the show, like on a plane.
True.
Some in Palm Springs. I don't even know how it was even arranged, but literally we got those, I think, at like 3 o'clock, and the show was at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock.
True.
I mean, this is how we were like operating. Like that's what I'm saying. Like a bigger entity was.
Remember when we were doing the rehearsal, and that was those. I was in LA. And some clothes has been sent from France and were arrived in LA, but they were stuck in the DHL or something. And we were like, oh my God, we are here. We could try those clothes. Everything was closed. And I was like, no, there's like 20 bodysuits or something in those boxes. And we were like, please open, do something.
I really do remember like calling the DHL and I'm like, listen, this is for Beyonce. I'm like, and honestly, people move. Like the DHL people, I think like opened up, like they were helping us. Like it was something so crazy. But like rarely, we can't use her. You know what I mean? Obviously, we can't use the name for everything. But I was just like, this is one of those times that we have to drop it.
I mean, the thing is that was 120 people. That was rehearsal. So I mean, doing the rehearsal. But I mean, that was like something where I was so pissed because I was like, those clothes are here in LA. We cannot try them. They are made. they are here. This was something. I was like, ah! Yeah.
But we got them. We had a really nice fitting too.
Yes, the fittings were insane because I remember like when, I have to say, when people are asking me what is the thing that has been the most, I would say, emotional about this experience was as well when we were doing the rehearsal and she was singing next to us. I could cry again.
I know.
Because
it's kind of magical, right?
It's magical. It was magical. And I think the voice, and you could see the clothes on the musician, and after she went on stage, and guys, we had tears because we knew that at that time it was almost done.
And not only that, it's just like, I think that you were, like, it's so crazy because people are like, oh, you work with her on all these things and whatnot. And it's like, honestly, like there's never a day or there's never a moment that like at the end of the day or the next morning, like even if everything goes wrong, you still say to yourself, like, God, we are so insanely lucky to be a part of this process, right? To be a part of this creative process, right? And you can't take that for granted for a second. But even like when we were there and we were watching, it's like, it's so incredible to watch an artist work. It's like watching an artist paint, and it's like watching like how I feel when I watch you like drape clothing, and it's like to watch her and how she's sitting there and she's singing and she's watching every show and knows exactly where every single light is and every single camera is, and it's like, it's a process that I've never seen with any artist before, ever. I don't even think it's other than Michael Jackson. I didn't see it firsthand, but I could only imagine that because when he turns around, he knows exactly where the camera is. And when he turns a corner, she knows exactly where, like she knows where every single camera is, every single piece of light. Like, it's just, honestly, it is art outside of the freaking voice and the dance. It's insane.
Yeah. I think the moment as well that I could cry is when Mrs. Tina came. You remember, like, and we were trying the camouflage for the Destinies, and when she told me, I was the one to create the clothes at the time, and there I remember because I was obsessed with Survivor. Who is not obsessed with Survivor? And when you realize that we are creating those clothes for this song as well, for this moment, that was something that, you just be on your knee and you say, thank you for the compliment, because, it's insane.
Right.
It's insane.
I know. You really kind of recreated the 2018 version of that. Who's better than Miss Tina, for real? Like, seriously, yeah. Like, yeah. Whenever she comes in, it's just like, you just have to like bow down to her.
But
and then you're also afraid though, because she knows like, she knows like all the secrets too. Like, she knows like what you're trying to get away with and what you're not.
But what about Marni? Like, when did you, something that people maybe don't know, but when did you start to believe and to love the idea, to believe in fashion, to love fashion, and to say, I want to be a stylist?
I feel like it was, I didn't know what this was. I didn't know what styling was when I first started. I went to college for film, but I always knew that I wanted to incorporate fashion somehow. My mom had clothing stores when I was a kid. Like, she hustled. She was 17 years old when she was pregnant with my sister. So she like hustled and had no money, So she had these clothing stores. So I would always like go on buying trips with her to New York when she would go. And, so I loved fashion, and I had to wear a school uniform when I was a kid. So I was always like trying to rebel against the uniform. I'm like, I should not be in a uniform. I should be free to express myself. So when I was in college, I worked at the Versace store, actually, on Newberry Street. And I went to New York and I met Norma Kamali and I started working with her. And then that's how I learned about what a stylist was, because I was doing her PR. And the more I got to see what it was, I was like, oh yeah, I've got to kind of be in. It was like such a fluke. It was like a fluke meeting of other stylists, of the publicists and whatnot. So, once I got, and then I loved music. So it was just kind of like, it was the perfect kind of, all my worlds kind of came together when I was at Norma Kamali, because I got to meet with stylists like Misa. You know, Misa is trying to help her and still work at Norma Kamali.
I couldn't hear you. Sorry, it was frozen.
Am I on? I mean, this is my first day with these ear things. Could you hear me?
No, now I can hear you because it was
Okay.
the picture was frozen. That's why.
Oh, maybe I should stop moving. I'm Italian, so we talk with our hands like, you know.
I do the same.
No, exactly. It was just being around at Norma Kamali's in the environment, in the fashion environment in New York, and just being around music. And once I started working with like Lauryn Hill, I was just like, oh yeah, this is what I have to do, because she's just like such a fashion. I mean, it was so lucky, you know. Again, this girl Tamika, she's a stylist. She's amazing. She, I think she was pregnant too. So she, you know, I kind of helped out with her. You know, I was just kind of like assisting everyone, whoever needed help, I was there to help, just to be in the mix. And still working at Norma Kamali. But anyway, I just knew I wanted to be around fashion and music, and it's just that's what it turned into. I learned what this was all about, and I just, you know, this wasn't a big thing in the early days. In the early days, people weren't really interested in giving, you know, Black artists music. I mean, Black artists clothing, to loan them clothing. Like, it was really difficult. So we would make things. Like, I remember with Misa, we used to like make. I mean, we were making all the clothes because nobody was just like really. It was, you know, a weird kind of thing. Yeah, it really was. I mean, once Lauren came about and like she kind of crossed over into like the, you know, high end and, you know, into the fashion world, that kind of opened it up a little bit more. But it was really hard to get clothing from showrooms back in the day to put on our artists.
When did you start with?
Oh, now I can't see you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
When did you start with Beyonce working?
No.
Can you hear?
Oh, well, because Ty, yeah, because you know Ty, obviously. You love Ty.
Yeah.
Remember? Okay, so Ty and Miss Tina, I knew them socially because of Lorraine Schwartz, the jeweler. She introduced us. We would always be in the office, whatnot. And, you know, Ty was so, and Miss Tina was so overwhelmed with, they were going from tour to this, to that, like, so they would always ask me to help out. Like, if it was an American Express commercial, like, you know, if it was a video or something, like, I would always step in. So I was always kind of like friends with, it was family, you know what I mean? I was, God, I've known them for 17 years. So it was, and then I think Ty, about right before Lemonade, I think Ty was doing like his fashion line, and he was doing a lot of stuff, and Miss Tina was doing, so they kind of asked me, you know, and Beyonce asked me to do the Lemonade project. So I was like, and from there I was kind of like full on, like with in the world.
Okay.
We did Super Bowl, we did Formation, we did Lemonade.
How many concerts did you do? Formation, Coachella?
I don't know how many was Formation, but Formation was a lot. We had Formation World Tour, we had Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We had, I mean, Lemonade, we did the movie, which was a beast. Then we did Coachella. Then we did On the Run 2. Then, and then what about the MTV performance, that live performance, and then the Super Bowl.
That was amazing as well.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's been a lot of stuff.
And which one was the toughest from all of them?
I mean, I don't know. I think that Coachella was so tough, but it wasn't I mean, it was just you and I, so it was kind of, that's easier sometimes. So like some of the other tours, like the Formation World Tour, like that was so crazy because we were shooting all of the videos So we were shooting all of the video. I mean, we were shooting the movie, and then we're rehearsing, and then she was editing the movie. We were trying to get like all these clothes. There were so many dancers, like 20 some dancers for each song. I had like 6 different changes. So that's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of costumes. And that was like such a, it was like, I was so emotionally connected to that at first, because it was just, it took years, like 2 years out of your life, really. So it was, that was the most difficult, I think, in the sense that, because I had to deal with so many different designers and so many different people and so many, like, it wasn't just the one-on-one, like as hard as it was, like, I knew I could always depend on you. With everybody else, I never knew what I was going to get. Sometimes people sent clothing that wasn't even sewn together. Some people, like, it was like, yeah, you have no idea.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. Yeah, when you work with with so many designers at the same time, you don't know exactly what you might get. So
right, right.
This is okay. I have other questions for you, Marni. Wait.
I have questions for you.
Huh?
I have questions for you.
You have questions for me?
Yeah. So like, what was your team like? What did your team like lose their mind when like we kept calling, like, because at one point you were sending, when we were working on Coachella, you were sending like epaulets, like we were getting like hand deliveries like almost daily. So was your team like ready to kill us, or like did they ever push back and say like enough is enough?
No.
Like I know Champy wanted to kill me, but
yes, my team, I thought that as well, like, are you crazy? Because I remember that what I was pissed at that time, but really pissed, is because the time between France to LA was too long. It was 12 hours of flight, and I was just like, can we make it 6 hours? Like, I remember, I think, no, my team, like all the people that were working from the embroideries to the sketches to the montage of the clothes, I think we knew it was so much, but we knew that we were so proud already, because it was just like, you give us a chance to be part of an iconic moment. And that's why you work in fashion. So no matter the amount of hours, no matter like, I mean, I was scared of the amount of fabric. Like, yes, I was scared of the amount of fabric. I was scared of the time between the flight, because I was like, imagine if the flight is late, or that pair of shoes that arrived in the middle of Palm Springs. So yeah, this I was scared, and pissed because of the flights. But no, my team, I mean, we all like love her so much. And as well, the fact, I want to mention something, the respect, because you are always asking in such a nice way, and you're always like so respectful of the people and of the work and of the team, and Beyonce as well. And so at the end, it felt like we could never be pissed, or we couldn't never cry. I mean, we were just like keeping the smile and say, let's do more, let's do more. And I remind you that you told me to stop because I was doing too many. And I was like, there's not enough songs for all those looks.
You did keep going. And no, and I'm so happy that we got to celebrate in On the Run too. When everybody came to the show, we got to, well, we celebrated. Yes. There's a funny story.
Because that was after Coachella.
Yeah.
That was after Coachella.
Right
there
after
is like
Coachella.
a question. There's a question that say, what is the best lesson we are learning from each other after that experience?
Well, I know the best lesson that I've learned from you is nothing. I mean, no matter how difficult it was, you're the only person kind of in my world that wasn't overwhelmed with anything. Like I felt like all the pressure was on me because I felt like there were, everyone was like so overwhelmed with the work. But it's like, when I would tell you, I'm like, I felt like you just put me at such ease and you put me at such calm because I knew that you cared about this as much as I did. And it's like, it's hard to find people that, like, some people like, oh, it's a job, and like, oh, here, that's what you asked for, here it is, or you know what I mean? But like you slept and you ate and you dreamed it and you tried to make it easier for me. And I think that what I learned from you is that like you would be like, oh, okay, no big deal. Like no matter, and even though it was a huge deal and a huge problem, you would always say, oh, no big deal. Like it was so like, no problem. Oh, we launched that. We launched that. Like nothing was so like it's over, it's not going to happen. Like, and you are like the impossible person, like in a sense that you will make the impossible possible. And I feel like, no, like I just felt like I felt like that with Beyonce. Like she's one of the only artists, like one of the artists who just like, it doesn't matter, like we can do anything, you know what I mean? And I feel that when I felt that for you, and I felt that vibe from you, and I was like, wow, I was like, this is kind of amazing, and it's kind of and it just put me at ease. So I just learned, I think, from you to just like maybe relax a little bit and know that there are people in the world that like care about stuff as much as we care about stuff.
As we
you know?
do, yeah.
So, yeah.
I think I would, I completely agree, because if you ask me what lesson I learned, is that sometimes fashion is not an easy world. I mean, there is not an easy world in many ways, but sometimes people in fashion forget the passion. And I think what I learned from you is to re-believe in passion, because you can build your own passion with your fashion shows, but fashion is one world where you connected the music. There is something that gets so big, and the public and the audience, it's so much more inclusive. And I think what I learned from you is when you open the doors to that and you say, Olivier, think like that. Look at that sweatshirt. Look at that color. Look at that embroidery. It's gonna be amazing. And you kind of like gave me more confidence, because sometimes fashion can be really snobbish, and your front row, they're like tuk tuk tuk, and you kind of like, when you hug me and you say, fuck, we did something great together and that was amazing, you made me believe even more in my job. Because sometimes you forget, because you say, yeah, it's not only a job, and when you see the critics and you're like, oh, okay, I will do better next time. But when you have someone like you next to me, you made me love not my job, my passion even more. And if people ask something, because they have a lot of questions, what's going to be next between Marni and you guys, I don't know, we don't know, but for sure there will be a next. Because
always.
This girl,
Always.
I mean, I tell you.
I'll do anything. I'll do anything with you. I mean, I just think that we connected so well and we worked so well together that it was, I think that's also was another element to this, that was like another part of this whole project, that it was like, you just made it happen. I love you so much. You know I do.
I love you more. I love you more.
I love you more. Did we
Okay, can you twerk, Marni? That was another question.
No, I can't twerk. Can you?
Hold on a second.
I'm so bad at it.
Can you twerk?
I can't.
You can't.
I can't. I can't twerk. I cannot twerk, but I saw you twerk.
I feel like you can, though. I feel like you can.
I saw you twerk.
No, you did not.
Huh?
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. I can't twerk. I can only twerk upside down. I'm not even kidding. I have to be in a handstand.
Okay, can you sing a Beyonce song?
No, I can't. I'll get in trouble.
Okay, me too.
Can you?
I can't. I mean, you could try. I mean, that's cute. No?
What's our song? What song are we going to sing? No, I'm going to
One.
forget words, and then I'm going to get in trouble, and
Okay,
it's going to be a whole...
no,
But you
don't
sing. You sing it.
My English is really bad.
What's your... I know, that means you're forgivable if you fuck up.
No.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite Beyonce song?
I would say I have too many. Maybe I mean, Baby Boy.
That's a good one.
I would say Apeshit.
Which?
I mean, that's why I don't.
What's the name of the song?
I don't want to say because my English is so bad.
I've missed what you said. What'd you say? Say it again.
No, I can't.
Opposite? Is that a song?
No.
EXO? I like EXO. I love you like EXO, EXO.
I
You
love
like
this one as well.
EXO. That one, I like that. I mean, listen, we love every single Beyonce
Yeah,
song.
yeah,
I
it's true.
mean, come on.
It's true. So, I mean, you don't
So
want
what
to
are
see
you
huh?
what are you doing now? Like, you're designing for a next collection?
Of course I do. I mean,
Okay.
so many collections. I have my resort, woman, my men resort. I'm working on my fashion show. And when this quarantine is over, I want to present all my collection. That's the point. And all my team is like working on it. I mean, we cannot launch everything because, of course, like a lot of things are closed. But we keep sketching. We do technical. We try to do some things here in the house. We kind of mount sometimes our clothes, doing the montage in the house as well. We are just trying to make sure that fashion is not dying during those days, and that's pretty hard. What about you? How you can be
Have
silent
you
now?
been having oh, I mean, I've been working on this other project that I can't really say anything about yet, but it's like it's honestly taken 6 weeks. I haven't exercised in 8 weeks. It's killing me. I haven't I feel like, remember the picture of the video of me putting the latex on Kim? I feel like that's like gonna be really being me putting on clothes. Like, I could only wear sweatpants and like such at this point. Like, I'm gonna start exercising hopefully today. And then but yeah, I mean, it's been hard doing all this stuff. So I'm gonna go through my closets. I'm gonna start doing some DIYs and stuff like that, and like show how you can like mix up some of your clothes and turn, skirts into jackets or pants into, you know, whatever.
I
Coats.
want to see you in a dress. I never saw you in a dress, by the way.
Yeah, probably at the end of quarantine, you'll see me. Hopefully, like if I can lose some weight in the next 2 months, I'll put a
Oh,
dress on
come
for you.
on. Oh, come on. Come on, Marni. What else?
I know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. Because that's what I want to say. I mean, you did so many bodysuits that now I want to see you with one bodysuit. This is the next
Oh,
challenge.
me in a bodysuit?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're crazy. I will say
Yes.
though, I will say one of my guilty pleasures is that I do whenever the costumes would come. Like, I was looking at my phone, I was like looking for pictures of like, from this process, and I saw like basically I try on everything that comes in for Beyonce. Like, even for all my clients. So like when clothes come in for Kendall, like I even try them on. I'm always like trying things on.
I didn't know that.
I try on everything. Yeah, I try on everything. I don't tell many people, and I don't post them, but I try on every
Good.
single
You
outfit.
kept it secret. Great, Marni. No one knows now. No one knows. Okay, what is your favorite outfit from Coachella?
Oh, wow. I mean, the capes were magnificent, so it's hard for me to say anything other. The capes were just they're really like they should be framed. They're like pieces of art. So the capes were crazy to me, but I did love the I I love like the opening sets because I was like really trying to like push that like one-legged thing. So like, remember
Yeah.
when you did like the bodysuits like that look like the band jackets kind of?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, on the second week. I loved those. I love those on the girls with the one leg. And then the week before we made like a Nefertiti or King Tut something, whatever, with the one leg. It was great. So those are like my most fun. Uh, those are the ones that I love the most. And on Beyonce, I love the black. I think I love that black hologram with
The latex.
the latex. Yeah,
The body
that was
with yeah.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
crazy.
That was so good.
What was yours?
I think it would be the cape for sure.
Yeah.
The black one is my favorite. And I would say hmm. I think I would say the hologram bodysuit in
The
latex.
hologram, right?
The hologram bodysuit.
We didn't. We used that. We used that for on the run.
True, actually. I love so much this look. So yeah, sorry, not Coachella. This one is on another.
Yeah, I love. So that was your
But
favorite
it was
look
for
from On the
Coachella.
Run.
Yeah, but I love so much this look.
I did too, actually, with the girls and the
Actually, yeah,
hologram.
I mean,
Yeah, that was crazy.
no, but you know why? Because I love this look and I love the crystal. Because I'm confused, but I love the image when she was wearing the bodysuit V-neck with the strass, and when she was singing with
Oh, right, with the girls, with
the girls,
with
yeah,
Michelle and Kelly.
with
Yeah,
Michelle and Kelly, and I think
yeah,
that was one of my favorite look. And
yeah.
at the point when actually like Solange arrived as well.
Oh my God.
So I mean, I think that was an epic moment for me. So I don't know if I like the look so much. I mean, I obviously like, but I think the moment that I saw that together, this story together, made me love the look even more. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know, that was something really iconic about that moment.
yeah. Well, that when they were dancing together, that was crazy. Like that was such a moment with her and Solange, both
Yeah.
weekends. And I love when because Solange, we put Solange in the pants too, and the latex with the bra. And then the next week we did that hologram, and that was. Remember this? You first sent us this
Ah, yeah.
hologram.
So show the sketches or the pictures. Show the pictures, because like that people can see the backstage of it.
Well, that was one of the jackets. Let's see if I have all of the. I should have had this organized a little bit better, but so did we do this look? Oh, we used this look for On the Run, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this was the one with the
Yes.
girls.
Yes.
That was amazing.
You know, a lot of people is. Yeah, this is one that I
that's
love.
the
Yes.
hologram. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this one too. This people, I mean, the beading
yes,
on
I
this
love it.
was so genius. I loved it. And then when she was dancing with Jay with this, that was
That
like
was
so
so good.
awesome. Remember? Yeah. What else do we have? I wish I had it all organized a little bit better. This was like the beginning stages of one of the camouflage.
True.
And then remember you did this.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. And then
I love you have everything. You have all your files.
And this was your boot that you did. Remember the sketch of all the rhinestones? You made us that.
True.
Gosh.
Marni.
Yeah.
There is a lot of people that ask BAK. What does it mean?
B what? Beyonce. Oh, Beyonce Knowles. The BK.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. What'd you say? This?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
You're frozen. I can't see you.
Oh. Am I unfrozen yet?
Okay, now I can see you. Yes, I
Okay.
want everybody.
This.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yes, because everybody is asking me.
Beyonce. BK. Beyonce Knowles. And then that's the wait a second. This is Beyonce Knowles, BK, Beyonce Knowles. And then this is the like the triangle, the pyramid.
That's the pyramid. That's exactly what people went.
That's the pyramid. Well, you know what? It was crazy because when we were first starting this, we were thinking like, okay, like we were trying to think of like, what are her Greek initials? Like, what would her, like, if she had a Greek sorority or fraternity, like what would it be? And that we were like, you know, coming up with like her initials, like beta, like gamma is C, and like, anyway.
And the delta. And the delta.
The delta, yeah. So I believe that triangle is just the pyramid.
It's because my embroidery was not well made.
No, it was perfect. It was so great.
That was can you
so
hear
good.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Guys, you understand now. Now you understand. You understand.
Sometimes
when we love each other so much.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Show me more sketches. Show me more pictures.
I'm trying to find, I don't know what I was doing here. Like, I had it all organized in one spot, but I have so many binders that, whatever.
Yes.
That was that.
Wow.
Oh, here, this is pretty. This was the actual.
Oh my God, yes.
Next piece, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember you made that?
I remember. I loved it.
I love that too.
That's when we started the hologram story.
Right. Oh, so these are all the hologram pieces for
what?
The girls.
Yeah, I love those looks.
Yeah. And then that sketch was the rhinestone boot, which ended up being that boot.
Yeah.
And then remember this boot? I love this boot.
I love these boots so much.
Yeah, so do I.
But that was the problem, remember? Because the fabric was so thick.
Yep.
Yeah, you remember.
Yep, and that boot turned into this boot. That's the one that arrived.
True.
Literally the day of the.
Oh my God, that was so good.
That arrived the day of. Oh. And then let's see, what else do we have here? How about this one? This was one of the early sketches.
Oh my God, it's true. Yes, guys, that was the first sketches where there was a jumpsuit behind. Yeah. Underneath, yeah. It was so good.
Remember?
Yeah.
I love that. I don't know what else we have here. I can't show you fitting pictures. I don't even have those. I have, these are just like copies of.
Oh, Marni, they said that it's gonna cut soon.
Okay. Well, I love you. This is fun. I feel like we could do this. We could keep going with this. Like.
Oh yeah, please.
Oh look, the boys will be happy. Look at this one. This was one of the early ones too.
Oh my God, it's true. Wow. But you got all those pictures. I want to see it again. Send me by text.
Yeah, I'll send you a book. I'll make a little memory book for you. And while we're quarantining, I can do a little like scrapbooking for you. I'll make a little scrapbook for you. How about
Please.
that?
I love you so much.
I love you. I hope we answered some questions for everybody. Everybody, yes. We'll do it. We'll do a part 2 next year.
We will do
on the 3rd anniversary.
Yes.
Every year we'll do this, okay?
I love you.
I love you so much. Happy. Let's get through this. Let's stay home. Let's be good examples to everybody. And
please stay safe. You, Marni, and everybody.
Love you.
Love you.
Okay. I don't even know how to.
Beyond the tea, beyond the tea. Sip with me.